So I thought it would be cool to just do like some deep dives into like our favorite games.
Okay.
So
Good luck.
What?
Good luck.
Good luck.
I don't even know what I would start with.
You can
That's
start.
that's a good idea though.
Yeah.
No, you can start.
Oh, you want me to start?
Damn right.
And you'll finish.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright.
I'm not gonna have anything prepared for it, but as long as it sounds good.
Well, that's why this is an intro.
We do it for the content.
Yeah, exactly. So, what I probably would have to go with, and I think you could probably guess it before I even say it, is Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. So are we only doing like our top favorite peak game, or are we doing favorite games?
Favorite games.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be top.
Okay.
And I'm thinking we can dedicate the whole episode to you picking a game and me picking a game and going over both those games, and that be the episode.
Okay.
So
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, that way we leave the room open for more content, as the kids say today.
Yeah. And we can open the floor to you guys.
Yeah. Be like, no, that game was trash. Or...
yeah. no, you really lost on this one.
No, I think mine. I think that I'm great introduction, because I'm gonna start with my favorite of all time.
That's fair.
Is Knights of the Old Republic. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put them both together, the first and the second one.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, I know. I remember we would have sleepovers every time, and you'd be playing that.
Oh hell yeah!
On what are you playing it on?
Computer.
Was it really computer?
Yeah, it had to be PC.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had the computer hooked up to that TV.
That's right.
And we were in those big circle chairs or whatever.
I forgot about that.
Giant thing. And you would just have a keyboard and a mouse on your knee.
That was a lot.
Knees. That was so fucking cool.
That was weird.
I was like, whoa, I didn't think you could put a fucking computer on a TV.
That was dope. I remember figuring out how to do that. I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm getting flashbacks now. Those times. Okay, so Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
How long do you want these episodes to be? An hour or so?
I was thinking half an hour to 45.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that'll blaze by.
Yeah. It'll
blaze by.
We definitely need some blaze, if you know what I'm saying.
What is that?
It's just weed.
I thought for a second you were talking about the Blaze of Glenn Beck.
No.
He has his own channel.
No.
Huh.
The Blaze. 98.3, The Blaze.
We need some Glenn Beck up in here.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
So I think the reason it has to be is just mainly the mechanics aren't that good. If you look at a video game, the mechanics are just, it's point-based damage, and it's not really anything
I think we could get into a pretty good argument over that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those are actually the kind of games that I enjoy the most.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, what's your argument?
I feel like we could. Well, we're not gonna. You want to argue now?
Yeah, sure. I want to hear
your
your point.
Content?
The what?
The content.
The content.
We're gonna miss the content. Oh, are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Oh, so we could just go if we wanted to.
Yeah, we're going right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were starting right now.
Yeah.
That's why I have my headphones off.
Well, that's the best way to do a podcast.
Okay.
It's just off the dome.
I thought you wanted to wait until that was finished.
Oh, no, it's all right.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I messed this up.
No, I thought you did
idea.
great. It felt very genuine.
Okay. So let's start with that then. You start with the mechanics. You go ahead and explain how you feel about the mechanics.
Well, the mechanics of it, I don't know. It's just they're basically just standing there. There's no jumping in the game at all.
Yeah.
And it's just like
You're just
what
watching
moves
like
you can
two
do.
dudes slap each other.
There's like a fury. There's like some kind of karate style thing.
Mhm.
And it doesn't. Which
Yeah.
I mean, there's like different classes, but you're gonna end up being a Jedi. Like it's like you're not gonna upgrade on your blaster for your main character.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be a lightsaber.
Yeah.
So the
You could-
story kind of steers you a certain way from even like really exploring. But even then, if you explore, it's not gonna be great.
Yeah. I played like I haven't played the second one. I played like 5 or 6 hours of the first one. So I haven't played through them all completely.
Mhm.
And a lot of that is just because like I watched you play them.
Mhm.
So I never really felt the need to. But they let you pick like a class or like a beginning class at the beginning, or is
Mhm.
it okay? That's what I was thinking. So you can pick like
Yeah, it kind of like gears your skills towards a different,
yeah, so
like
you,
rogue or whatever.
right. You could pick like bounty hunter archetype, and it'll be like
Yeah.
you're a shooter. You
Yeah,
shoot
yeah.
things. Right. So like, how much does that like affect your ability to like move into the Jedi stuff? Because if you pick like a guy that just shoots guns, like, and then you
think-
get like a sword.
I think there's different kinds of Jedi, and it leads it like more. Some are more melee, like melee. I mean, sorry,
Yeah. No, I
I said that dead wrong.
I know what you're saying.
But like, and some are more like I don't know. Star Wars fans are gonna hate me for blanking on all this terminology, but like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, some are protectors, some are more
Oh, I see
whatever.
what you mean. Yeah.
Some are more like skilled in knowledge, and others are more like fighting.
Yeah,
based
yeah.
on the color of your lightsaber. So it's just like it kind of gears you towards that. Like, if you pick bounty hunter style, and it might lead you to more like knowledge based, because you're like working with more like mines and
Yeah.
different equipment and stuff like that, like a gearhead.
Yeah.
But essentially you can choose whatever you want. It's just like, what skills do you want to start with? I always start with like persuade. Like
Yeah.
every game I do
yeah, I
persuade.
do that
It
too.
opens more
It's
dialogue
so much
options.
fun.
And if it's a good game, they usually
I know.
have like different story.
That's the thing for me. Is like, if you put a persuasion tree in a game, or like the persuasion skill in general,
Uh-huh.
that better like I better be able to like stop all conflict if I get that high enough. You know what I mean?
like if there's a war going on, you can
Yeah.
just go talk to a
I
few
could be
people and be
"Hey,
like,
guys,
let's cool
stop."
this down.
They're like, "Oh, yes, sir."
There's something about you that makes me want to listen.
Yeah, you're so persuasive. Because there's been a few games where like the persuasion tree doesn't do anything at all, and
Yeah.
it's like, what is the point of you being?
It's
here?
like you can persuade someone to give you 50 credits.
Yeah, but only if the game lets you do that.
Yeah.
Only if they allow you. Because I think, have you played Fallout 4?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, well,
First
that's
person?
all Fallouts, but I'm trying to remember if that's the right one. Was Fallout 4 the one right before Fallout 76?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
then yeah, I played.
It's
That's
the one
I
where
played.
like your character actually like talks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that game, like the persuasion tree, if I'm remembering right, because it's been kind of a while since I played it. If the persuasion was like, those options only show up when the game allows you to do that,
Yeah.
to have those decisions.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, like Fallout 4 was like really really hampered by its dialogue because of the fact that it's only like let you choose 4 options at a time. So it didn't really, like in previous Fallouts you had like, it was like Skyrim, where you have like a whole list of things that you could do. But in Fallout 4 it was only like 4 things because your protagonist says every line basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
And
makes
so
sense.
I really feel like it hampered, like there was almost no reason to choose persuasion because you were just like wasting skill points or like whatever they were, and it would be better to just go into a different tree. And recently, I played through Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's basically like the old BioWare games, like Mass Effect.
What's it called?
Baldur's Gate 3.
I think I've heard of that.
It was like I think it won Game of the Year last year. But it's like Mass Effect, Star Wars: The Old Republic kind of dialogue,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like it's all voice acted. But it's like you can literally approach every single thing, like every single situation from a persuasion style.
Oh, really?
It's like if you play Dungeons and Dragons, which I don't think you did, but you roll like a 20-sided dice, and you add on like whatever your point modifiers are. Like if you're really persuasive, you got like a +5.
Yeah,
persuasion, you know. So you roll the persuasion dice, and if you beat like a certain score that you need to go against, like if you're persuading these goblins to like not fuck with you just yet,
Yeah.
you roll persuasion, and if you succeed, they'll like go and do something else.
Yeah.
And you can literally do that in every single encounter almost. You
Oh,
can
okay.
basically like avoid, if you are just only a persuasion guy and you've only built
You
persuasion,
can avoid
you
most
can
conflict.
basically avoid almost all the conflict.
But wouldn't that hinder your experience?
No, because you actually get experience.
Oh, you get experience from
doing
persuading people.
from doing that
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, so it like really equals out. So it's like you can, and obviously you can do like, no, I'm not. I don't want to fight you, but I'll do this for you instead, so you don't like mess with me.
Let me
and I'll
bargain
come
with
back.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do bargaining, or you can just do straight up fighting. Like,
Yeah.
they that's an example of them doing it really well. But from what I played from Star Wars: The Old Republic, the Knights of the Old Republic, it seemed like persuasion was actually a really good like stat to invest in
Yeah.
because they give you like options and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it opens up more like story. Like,
yeah,
I like that where it's like you get to learn a little more, and sometimes you can help people by knowing a little more.
yeah, yeah.
There's one in the first one that like, if you don't get it right with this character, you cannot like that you will kill them instead of
Oh,
recruit
really?
them. So
Jesus,
yeah,
that's rough.
and it's some Jedi that's turned dark or whatever, and she's like on her last leg, and you're basically talking her down off the
Oh
ledge.
man,
And
that's
so
so rough.
and like, I had to save before I did that.
Yeah.
to
Is
figure
it
out
like
that.
if you do like a persuasion check or whatever, it's like is it like randomized or is it like stat based or is it like do you have to have a certain persuasion to like get it correct 100% of the time, or is it like 50% she'll say yes or 50% she'll say no? If you're like hey.
No, I think if your persuasion is high enough, then you just get it.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a chance thing.
Yeah.
Because back then especially, it was like they don't have a lot of like dialogue done. And they don't even you don't even respond. It was an older game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it just made more sense. Like if they got the persuasion, they got
Yeah.
they bring it home.
Because I know in Fallout 4 they have that where it's like the more persuasion or charm or whatever it is that you level up, the higher percentage chance you have of succeeding in that check, whatever it may be. So like even if it's like a 75% chance of succeeding, you could still fail the check.
Yeah.
Because it's percentage based. Which I kind of agree with like that they should have gone the Old Republic route instead, because like if my character is like maxed out on charm, but there's 75% chance of
No.
failing. It's like
The guy's like, nope,
No.
still no.
And it's like
you've really
suave.
convinced me, but nah.
like super suave, like Giga Chad looking dude. And he's like, no, I don't like you.
Yeah,
you're like,
there's
okay.
something about you that just makes me think. No.
All right, I guess I'll kill you now. Sorry that didn't work out. Maybe on our next check. But yeah, so what else did you like about the Old Republic?
The Old Republic, I don't know. I think, well, okay, so they did the story, especially in the second one, they did the story so well to where you have like the option, like there's a bunch of side quests for every character, but you have the option to like build people up into Jedis. Like the majority of your recruits you can build up into
Everyone
Jedis.
can become Jedis?
Well, mostly everyone. There's a mercenary, a Mandalorian that can't become a Jedi.
Right, right.
And then the droids obviously can't become Jedi.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone but that, and the Wookiee. The Wookiee can't become a Jedi.
Oh, that's interesting.
But, I mean, have you ever heard of a Wookiee Jedi?
No.
I don't. I'm
No.
I'm curious. Hey, you at home, let us know if there is a Wookiee Jedi, because that would be pretty cool. Honestly,
That'd be
I
sick
think
looking.
that dude would be ruthless.
Yeah, I'd be
especially if he was a dark Jedi, dude.
Yeah.
That
Be
guy
over.
would rip people
And you
up.
wouldn't even know what he's saying.
That's the scariest part.
Yeah, that's the scary part. Yeah, you just hear that in like the dark corner.
Oh my god.
Hear the like lightsaber sound.
But like, what was the question?
I always thought, well, we were talking about like how everyone in your party can become.
Yeah,
Jedi.
yeah. So like that's what I loved about it, because it's like, and it's like the story of the side like quests is really good.
Yeah.
Like you learn a lot about the character
Yeah.
in between, and it's very personal towards those characters. And like you find out your tech guy used to be a Jedi assassin and killed Jedis.
Wow.
So it's like, oh my god, there's
Yeah.
depth to the character.
To everybody, yeah.
And there's one girl who's, I think the handmaiden is what she's called, but she's like, she lived on a planet full of her own clones or something like that, and she was like the original. But she learns about her parents being Jedi. She had no idea, but she's like a skilled martial arts
Right.
person. And then there's a bounty hunter that you end up turning to. I forget. I think there's one more. I forget. I forget which one it was. Oh, that game! I need to play it again because it was just so like rich in story.
Yeah.
And then I always wanted to see a video game where they like kind of took that aspect again of rebuilding the Jedi Order from shambles. Like they just start looking for Force people,
Yeah.
that would be such a good game, but
Yeah.
no one has done it. They're all like so focused on like blasters and Battlefront.
Yeah. I
And
know.
That's a
I mean,
serious
they
problem.
were. I mean, they are remaking Knights of the Old Republic.
That's the rumor. They've been remaking that game for like
They announced it. They've. I mean, it's
5
it's been
years.
officially announced. It's just the studio's been having problems with it. So it seems like a management.
they
thing.
better do it good.
Yeah. No. I know.
I'm down to wait. I'm down to wait if they do it good.
That's probably why it's taking so long, because it's like,
It's so built up.
yeah, and because it's like it's a Sony exclusive, and so they're trying to like really make sure.
It's a Sony exclusive
Yeah.
for PlayStation?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't on like the game
I
wasn't
know.
on PlayStation.
Yeah. That was the big like blow up thing when it was first announced, because it was like PlayStation exclusive.
That's weird.
Because I think it was like
It was
that
on PC and Xbox.
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
was it.
Yeah. So that's why everybody was like really upset, because it was like,
What the F, bro?
yeah, yeah. They're like, it came on Xbox, so just make it multi-platform and stuff like that. But yeah, the studio's been having problems. I think I forget if it was rumored, but they have to restart on it one time. So it's just kind of a mess right now. Hopefully they can get it right and get it done sooner rather than later. But yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate thing about like some game studios is like, well, we can get into that later, but like the management is just like the devs are really good, but the management is just all messed up.
Yeah.
So it ends up like project leads and stuff like that. Like if they don't manage everybody appropriately, like people can literally, like, you can waste years on development on something that's not even going to make it to the final version of the game, and then they have to start over.
I just don't understand why they don't, like, why are they trying to remake it, and why don't they, like, take the concept and put it in something else?
What do you mean? Like a whole
because-
new game in general?
Yeah, like a new game in general.
Not Star Wars?
Well, no, it's Star Wars,
Okay.
but it doesn't have to be the same story.
Right.
I mean, it could have Easter eggs to that story, but, like, make it its own thing.
Well, it's kind of like a ongoing issue with the game industry at the moment. And this is like a broader topic than what we were originally going to discuss, but it's like more game companies are focusing more on like sequels, remakes, and remasters rather
Yeah.
than like, even though it's Star Wars, it'd still be technically a new IP, like an independent property. So it wouldn't be like, what do you call it? It wouldn't be like Knights of the Old Republic 3 or
Yeah.
whatever. It would be this new project that's also in the same vein.
Yeah.
So, because there's a lot more risk involved with making a new IP than there is just remaking.
Yeah,
a game,
because you have the
remastering.
diehard fans that are going to come back to it.
Yeah,
A business move.
yeah,
Okay.
and everyone would be like, like, it's very clunky to play Knights of the Old Republic
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, yeah.
I played like 6 hours and it was like very tough going for a little bit. Like,
It is very.
I was
clunky to
pushing
go
through
back
because
to.
like I know how much you like really enjoy it. And
Yeah.
and I do like the old BioWare style of games, and it was like really, really impressive. So I need to get back into it, but having people play like a remake would be like with all the new systems, graphics,
Yeah.
enhancements, all that stuff. Like it'd be just way easier to get people into that IP, and then they can make remake 2, and then they could make a third one.
Yeah.
Is usually how it goes.
That makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. I get it.
I know.
But
I know how you feel.
it's just like, I don't know.
That's how the
A third one would be cool. Why don't you just start with the third one and go from there?
I know. I feel
But I
that
guess
too.
it's a cash grab.
A lot of, well, the thing is like, I feel like, because we've seen a lot of like remakes
Yeah.
this past like couple years.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
games have
That's
just
all they
been
do.
keep being remade all over.
And then
and-
I was looking at Mafia the other day.
Yeah, Mafia.
And they redid all that.
Yeah, they didn't redo Red Dead Redemption 1, which was a bit unfortunate, but they remastered it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like when game companies start remaking older series,
Mhm.
they'll usually remake like all of them, and then they'll make the next one
Sequels.
right after that, because then they have like either like the engine that they already built up for it.
Uh-huh.
They know because they have to remake it, so they'll know like game design decisions and like how developers like set all that shit
Uh-huh.
up the first time. And then they have like assets, so like anything that they've made previously, they could just port it over, and that like halves development time, right? So if you have like a character model or like textures, plants, stuff like that, then they could just put it in the next game.
Yeah.
They did that
fair.
with the Crash Bandicoot series. They remade the first
Yeah,
three.
so I bought that for my kid.
Yeah, and then they made the fourth one after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they make it a fourth one.
Yeah, it came out like 2 years ago, a year
Oh.
ago, something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they remade the first 3 games, and then they came out with that one.
Well, plus, I mean, it also gets people, like, you can tell if the sales are coming in for,
The people
like, if
are-
the
yeah.
people want it.
still want it, yeah.
And you didn't have to, like, the whole story is already done. You're just making it look much nicer.
Yeah.
So it's, like, kind of less work to remake something, and then you can see if their fans are hungry for it,
Yeah.
and then come out with a
They
new
still
one.
want more, yeah. I think that's a little bit of like the decision making behind the remake.
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic is like, because if they come out with a third one and they get it wrong, people are, and then interest for the series dies.
And it's
from
been
that.
so long that it could be so disconnected from the sequels.
It's like Andromeda. Did you ever play Mass Effect Andromeda?
I actually liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
Don't
I did
tell
too.
anybody.
Honestly,
but I
like,
liked it.
don't tell anybody. I loved Andromeda.
Yeah.
but the main discourse around it was like it was so far removed from the series in
Yeah.
general that it like didn't even feel like it was part
Connected.
of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
They could have just named it Andromeda and it would work. But like, honestly speaking, I love the entire story premise. So
I love how you're like bringing planets back alive.
I know,
and you're,
I know.
it's
Like the whole
wow.
entire premise and like the base stuff and like visiting each planet. I mean, and the game looked fucking gorgeous. Like the graphics of each of the planets look really, really, really good for its time. But it's just like one of those things, and like obviously like the general gaming industry kind of panned it because of launch issues. It had some like animation bugs or whatever. Characters didn't look right to them, I guess. And then obviously like the big thing where it was like so far removed from the original Mass Effect. Everybody was like, and I feel like a lot of that is an issue with Mass Effect 3 and how that game ended, because it was such like a mess of an ending that people were like, just give me the next one. Just give me the next one. Like, I don't care about like what's going on right here. We clearly have like unanswered things that are going on and that happened in 3. And we're going to a side story that costs so much development time. And it's like, you know. And did you see they're coming out with another Mass Effect?
I think I saw that.
Yeah. And it's going to continue off from 3.
Yeah. I didn't really like the Mass Effect games.
You didn't? Man. Yeah, no, I love those games.
I liked Andromeda, but it just seemed like there's nothing like the you know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean?
Like,
no, I don't know what you mean.
Like, I didn't see a lot of like the same recruiting and planet building.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, it's
that
not,
drew me to Andromeda in the first place.
Yeah.
So once I played Andromeda and never played the Mass Effect games before that, I was like, well, that is just disconnected from what I like.
I know.
That was an episode of Top Tier Play. Thank you for watching.
And be sure to check out the rest of our content on Typhoon. We've got a bunch more coming for you. Stay tuned.
Nice.